Let's see here. Am I live? I do not know. I'm going to check on my phone here, see what the deal is. Let's see. Let's see here. So, what is everybody up to today? Anything exciting? Let me see here. Let me see. Gotta go to my own channel. Live. Alright. I'm loading up here so I can see comments on my phone while I do this, right? Come on. Clicked it. It's gonna go. I don't know what's going on. Basically, I'm waiting to see if, for some reason, not loading. There we go. There, that's working. So now I can see my comments as they come in. Hopefully, if all is smooth. What's up? How is Las Vegas? Did you have fun out there? I did not start my simulator up, so I got to start that. It takes a second here, and I got to hook up my controller. Oh gosh, I have a lot of stuff open. A lot of stuff on the computer open. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, and I have to hook up my controller. What did I do? It is a disaster in here. Now, technically, my desk that I'm normally at in this room is actually about 3 feet behind my computer. Right now I'm set up on a little table because I just needed to move stuff from downstairs to upstairs so that I could just have it not be such a disaster in here. Let me see here. The heck happened to my freaking control? Is this it? Nope. I have a lot of USB cables around here, and when I was moving stuff around, I saw it, I picked it up, so don't lose this, and I set it down somewhere, and I think that I might have set it on this pile of stuff here, and I found it. We're good. We're good. Super fun. Super great experience, and met a lot of people who can help with con invites. It was an insane experience. That's cool. How is the volume that you guys worked on? Was it like a full 360 volume, or was it like a partial wall? Ooh. Warning. Oh, there we go. All right. Two USB ports. There's one on the bottom for charging, and there's one on the top for data. And I plugged into the wrong one, and everything flipped out. So let's see if this will work this time. Okay. That looks like it's going. Okay. So we're back. Sorry guys. So yeah, so last thing I saw, super fun, super great experience, and met a lot of people who can help with con invites. It was an insane experience. I'm very curious as to how that, how everything was with the volume. I'm going to take these off of my head because I can actually hear myself speaking, and it's way behind what's really happening in my real life. Okay, I'm going to start the drone simulator again. I actually restarted my computer real quick. The volume was 3/4 wrap, but they stuck to more single image. They couldn't track the camera without doubling their computer needs, so they stuck to simple images for the most part. Lots of practical sets too. That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, the volume stuff is fun. And even if it's like a single image, it's still pretty awesome. And it'll look good if they shoot it right. So I'm excited to see how it turns out. And congrats on doing that. That's a fun thing. Did you get to see anything in Vegas while you were there? What time is it? 7:10. All right, I'm gonna put my drone timer starting. I'll just start it now, I guess. So at 8:10, I'm gonna try to call it. So let me see. Do I have it set up on game capture? Yeah, it's working. All right. Now I'm going to go to the single. I'm gonna do the same kind of one I was doing before, but I'm gonna just look for a different track. And I'm basically just gonna kind of like zone out, chatter, and fly around here while I do this. So what was that last time? I feel like there's more of these every time. Wild Card Week, Pro Spec, Super Mario Land Apocalypse, Bando, Florida. Look at that. Let's try Super Mario Apocalypse. That seems interesting. Whoa. Did that thing where it just like immediately crashed. I haven't even touched my controller yet. Alright. Oh my gosh. This is that thing where the rocks are all missing texture. See that? Ooh, I made it through the tree. Oh, didn't make it through that tree though. Yay, smooth. Yeah, I'm going to be working on some more Patreon files tonight when I get off of this thing. I booked like some background work on, oh man, this is why I got a thumbs down, because all the textures are missing from the rocks. Booked some background work on SWAT, which I guess is called Eagle. I don't know if it's like a different season of SWAT or if it's the same people or what. But I worked that show a couple years ago, and they booked me with my car, and they wanted me to bring my silver Mazda 3, but I didn't realize they booked me with my car. So I drove all the way out there, and it was like in the scene, I'm like a paralegal, and the SWAT guys come out and they're looking for explosives in this car, and it's a silver car in the parking lot. That's the scene. Well, I'm a dumbass, and I brought my other car, my little white Miata, because there was more gas in the Miata that morning, and I didn't realize they'd booked me with my car. So I just drove the other car. The one time I drove the other car, and they were not thrilled. But after that, everything was fine. However, it was fun. But I'll be on that show again. It seems very easy. My call time's not until like 11:30, so that's nice. Usually call times are super early, and then I gotta fight traffic and do all this stuff, but 11 o'clock call time is like easy driving. That'll make my life better. I honestly felt like I was on the set of A New Hope. The images look so much like those movies, is insane. Lighting and on point. And I mostly did dancing and 3PO. Yeah, that's what I figured it was gonna be, something like that. Did you get any good photos on the volumes with the cool backdrops and stuff? Wow. How many people did they have in the shoot? Was there a lot of characters and stuff, or was it pretty small character-wise? Some good photos, but nothing to share right now. Yeah, I understand that. Top secret. I know. I'm doing my Patreon stuff, and I started working on my 3PO torso that I'm doing, my chest and shoulders the other day, and I wanted to start on the legs, but then my friend got a new scanner, and I really want to try to rescan the stuff on his scanner. The scans I got are okay, but if I can get them better, it'll make my life easier. So I might rescan them this week, maybe on Friday or Saturday. But I gotta see how everything goes. I'm supposed to do some kind of crazy goat makeup on Saturday, but I guess it's getting moved. So I don't know what the deal is. We'll find out. But if I can get them rescanned, that'll be cool, because I just think it'll be a lot easier process for me to clean up if the scans are cleaner. The parts are gonna be pretty cool, and I'm gonna, I'm taking the same angle with those that I am with my shorts, where like Jesse's files are cleaner and nicer, but they just are very, very, very clean, like in a sterile kind of way. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but mine are gonna have all the weirdness from the original movies. They're gonna be asymmetrical as far as the length, and then like all the weirdness I can capture is going to be there. And then I'm going to make a set for myself, and I would like to do, what I want to do is make all of my parts 3D printed, because right now my droid is mostly, it's like half fiberglass, 3D printed arms. The head is resin and 3D printed, and it's the same head I've been using for a long time. And I want to just do a full, brand new, all 3D printed suit, see how it goes. And if it looks comparable to the one I wear, then I'm going to transition over to all 3D printed parts, just because they are just easier to deal with. And I also started printing Dave Moog's 8D8. I'd started a long time ago. I printed the head and the neck, and then I never finished working on it. So currently I'm starting at the feet, and I'm going to print that droid in the background while I work on other stuff, because I've just got so many freaking things, and I used up a bunch of filament on this other project this week, so I got to go get some more filament, and it should be good. Let's go check out the Florida Bando. Is that what it's called? Change track. Was it Super Mario? Bando, Florida. Let's do that. I'm from Florida. This might be cool. Pretty small character-wise, decent number of extras, but I met some people who had me starstruck. I felt so out of place with the actors they hired. That's cool. Now I'm really curious to see how it goes. Like what the deal is. I mean, you shouldn't feel out of place. Like the 3PO costume is not easy to wear. I feel like a lot of people, take it for granted that it's like, I feel like I'm flying around in Orange Grove here. A lot of people take it for granted, so you got a lot of actors that do stuff, and that's kind of cool. But I'm curious as to like who they got. It's like, would it be people that I would recognize, or is it? Oh geez. I mean, their YouTube channel is really huge. I'm curious to see like how quickly they edit this thing and get it all together. It took a while for they wanted to shoot last like October or something, I think, is when they were talking to me about doing it. And initially I was like, yeah, but then it just kept getting moved. I'm like, I just don't have time. And then I talked to the owner of a studio here today, and it looks like there might be a chance I might be like almost getting like a full-time job at a studio doing digital work. So I got to see how it is, but it's at least 3 days of work a week in shop, and maybe the other 2 days at home or something. I don't know how they work that out, so I got to go talk to them this week, but it should be exciting. Phil Lamar and Jim Beaver's name a couple. That's cool, man. I met Phil Lamar years ago. I think I met Jim Beavers too. I met Phil Lamar in 2013 at Rhode Island Comic Con, and then I just saw him at the Saturn Awards actually, just a few weeks ago. That's pretty crazy. They got those people. What's up, Gordon? Still practicing? Yeah, always practicing. I'm gonna change tracks though, because this track I'm on is boring. Super Mario Land Freestyle. Supercross. There's so many. Oh, Temple of Doom. Look at that. 3 stars. There's so many boards here, and every time I come on, there's just like new ones. It's like people just keep contributing. So, oh my gosh, look at this. I mean, this doesn't look that exciting for flying around, but oh, crashing immediately. So yeah. So anyway, we'll find out, because maybe I'll be working at a shop soon, which could be kind of awesome. The shop, it does really freaking great work. They did like Pam and Tommy and oh god, like a ton of stuff. They did a bunch of the masks for Orville and all, like tons and tons of cool work. And I'm excited. If you guys were on here last time, last week I spent the week doing stuff for Corridor Digital for Corridor Crew, and they snuck a couple pictures onto their page, so I can kind of tell you what I did, because they showed it. I'm not going to tell you the outcome or what it's for exactly, but I got to do some 3D scan, basically 3D scan and sculpt, because I had to take a partial scan and combine it with another scan, and then make a bunch of mold, like a big mold, a 3D printable mold, and then print it. And then we had to make the part, and then we had to film it. So it was like, I didn't even get the actual scan data until Monday. I think I was actually flying around on here when the scans came in. I got invited to Rhode Island Comic Con. It would be fun to go together. A gal named Stacy Williams took a liking to me. Stacy Williams, that sounds so familiar. Now I'm curious if it's somebody I know. Rhode Island Comic Con is really fun, and I went there. I just happened to go in 2013. I was still working I worked doing architectural renderings for a long time, which you guys probably heard me talk about. And the company I worked for was called Studio AMD, and they were in Providence, Rhode Island. And I went up there a few times to work, but most of the time I worked from Florida. But a couple times I went to the office up there. One time we went to give us like a talk in Boston, and then a couple other times I was just had me come in the office just to, like, you know, have my face around for a day, even though, because we all work together all the time. And I was working there, and randomly I just was looking around like Providence, and it turned out Rhode Island Comic Con was going on that same weekend. So I reached out to one of the coordinators for the show and was like, hey, is there going to be any R2 builders? And Rhode Island didn't have a very big R2 builder community. There was like 2 guys there, and I connected to them. I said, hey, I got a 3PO. I'm going to be in Rhode Island that same weekend. If I come out there, would you guys like suit me up and want to like walk around? And they were like, yeah. So anyway, that's how that happened. I got a bunch of photos from that show. I might have some with Phil Lamar. And then what's really weird is that the woman who connected me to the show, to the people in the show, ended up dating a guy I knew's brother, real randomly. But the crazy thing is, my friend Justin Holt, his brother Chris is the one that I met. That randomly this woman started to date, and I saw her post a picture. I'm like, oh, that's my friend Justin. That's weird, because Justin lived in like San Francisco, and then now he moved up to like Vancouver or Toronto or somewhere, and he is a texture artist for the film and game industry, or for film industry mainly. And he's done like, texture artists for tons of crazy films. But his brother Chris Holt is like this workout guy, and Chris and Justin are both like pretty buff dudes. And so randomly, this other woman that did a Rhode Island Comic Con was dating my friend's brother. And the thing that's crazy is that they are triplets. So it's Chris, Justin, and oh my god, I'm blanking on the other brother's name right now. And the other brother is friends with my friend Tony Gregori, because my friend Tony Gregori draws comic books. And his other brother is in the comic industry. And so all of the three triplets I have like 1 degree of separation from, which is super weird. And I was supposed to be 3PO at Chris's wedding to this other lady, and then they split up. I don't know what happened, but that was kind of last minute. But real random side stories. That's what you can expect to get while I fly the drone. Can I scoop this thing? Look at this. Look at that. I just kind of bumped it. I feel like my skills are really picking up. Just finished watching a movie called The Void. Some fantastic effects and Lovecraftian monsters. Ever heard of it? I have heard of it. Have not seen it. Together, and Chris was tapped for the project, but he couldn't schedule his dresser for the same time, so he turned it down. That's crazy. I really wonder if he was the first person they reached out to, and then they reached out to me. That is interesting to know. Your suit looks 100 times better than Chris's, by the way, just for the record. I'll say that over and over. The Jesse M files just look better than this stupid TK409 parts. So they made out because of it, because you were there. I'm sure you did a better job. And not as sleazy, so that's good. Oh, crashing everywhere. I know, I want to see The Void. It's I'm trying to think if any of my friends worked on that, doing creature stuff. I unfortunately didn't have anything to do with it, but I'm curious to see now. Hold on one second, let me see. I'm gonna pull up my internet here. I'm gonna look at The Void cast, see. 2016. I'm curious. I gotta see some pictures here. Cast: Aaron Poole, Ken Walsh, Ellen Wong. Ellen Wong. How do I know Ellen Wong? Hang on a second. Ellen Wong. She was on Glow. I feel like I've worked with her before. Let me see something here. Let me look. What has she been on? Scott Pilgrim. Takes Off. Never even heard of that. Oh, she was Knives on Scott Pilgrim. That's why I recognize her. Okay. That's cool. There's a father, the son. Art Hindle. Stephanie Belding. That looks familiar too. Stephanie Belding. No, I don't know her. Never mind. Thought it was somebody else. Evan Stern. Grace Trish. David Scott. Transformed Powell. Mackenzie. Jason Deathridge. Chris Nash. I'm looking at all these people really quick to see if I know any of them. Don't know him. Where did they film this? Do you know? Oh, yes. My friend Troy was in this. Okay. So, Troy James, he was a sleepwalker. That's why I know of this. He is the nicest guy. He's a contortionist. He does all, like, anytime you see people in a movie and there's like someone like walking like upside down doing some weird shit, it's always Troy. He's really, really good at that, so I always hire him for those roles. He's been in a ton of stuff. He was in the movie Malignant that I was talking about last time I was on here, talking about painting the blades. When the creature transforms, it's like crawling all weird. He was in that. He's been in some Guillermo del Toro stuff. He's been in a bunch of things. Troy James, super cool guy. And when I worked at Spectral Motion, they have all the body forms of anybody who's been in suits there. So I've got one there hanging out, and then like Dane has one. My friend Kevin Kepi, Doug Jones has one there, and Troy James has one, and the arms are all like this because they had to build the costume in a way where he could be upside down and crawl around, which is pretty cool. Amy, I don't know these other. I don't know anybody else on this here. Not personally. I've seen some of the names before, but I don't know. But I do know Troy, Twisty Troy on Instagram. That's his name. Super nice dude. Where's my drone? All right, there we go. Back to the thing. We're gonna change tracks. I want to do a more interesting track. With your help, my suit will be even more accurate. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Yeah, as I keep going here, I'm just gonna put all those parts up on the Patreon, and like I said, we're starting on the torso, and I found all my files because I'm going to be doing Forlom. It's one of the ones that I'm working on, and I got all the cool stuff from the archives. I got a lot of measurements and tons of photo reference from the archives, inside and out for Forlom, so should look really good. But as I get the torso figured out for 3PO, I'm going to do the Forlom torso. And I measured everything. I've got the depths of all the settings, the width from the middle to the like really accurate stuff. So I'm going to be sculpting the thing, but it should be like very accurate. It's like a John Carpenter inspired fever dream mixed with Hellraiser and the Thing. Oh my gosh! So we were just talking about the Thing today. I put up on my Instagram earlier. I put up a little meme, and it was like based on the Thing. And my wife's like, "I've never seen the Thing." I was like, "You haven't?" And I thought she brought it up because she saw my post, but she didn't even see the post. It was just random because we're in the Matrix, so the Thing has to come up all the time. But I love the Thing. The Thing is probably one of my favorite. One of the horror movies actually scared me like when I was younger. Also, they had an original Yoda puppet to shoot with. Original builder came out to do it. The Thing cost $88,000. Huh. Was it? That's weird. Was it from? It wasn't from Empire because those are toast. I've seen all of those up close, and they are not movable. So was it one that they used for the new films? They have the guy. Oh my God, what's his name? I'm friends with him on Facebook, and I've talked to him in person like 5 times. The guy, he lives in the Caribbean somewhere. Oh my God, he was one of the original people that worked on Yoda, and he has done like really accurate puppet versions of it. But it definitely wasn't an original one. The original ones they're toast. Every single one of them is like falling apart. The foam latex turns to like graham cracker consistency. Neil, good evening. I took a picture. It's on my phone. Let me see here. Yes. Nick, that's it. He is a really good sculptor, and he's very good. He worked on the original one, so his replicas are amazing. Like they're the same quality, literally like the same builder. So they're super good. Let me see. Neil, what did I want to show you? I was driving today, and let me see if I can get this to come up here. Come on. And I don't know if you can see that. Drove right by there today, real briefly, which was cool. So I thought of you. I said, I think Neil works there. But we were just passing by. Nick Maley. Yeah, he's like phenomenal. And Best Yodas around, and again, he worked on the original puppets, so he knows them very well. But he lives like somewhere really weird, like literally like on some little island somewhere. And it's really cool. Okay, let's see what. Ready and FPV nuclear pilots. There are so many levels to fly around here. Oh my God! Look at this level. Holy cow! All right, we're gonna be exploring this. This looks pretty wild. Can I get out of here though? Yeah! Whoa! Oh my God! I'm getting carried away chatting, and I'm not flying enough. But I think anybody who's been here for a while can see that I'm starting to get a little bit better. I'm starting to freaking improve. Took long enough. See, I spoke too soon, and I crashed out. Look at this level. Oh my God. This place is nuts. I love it. All right, what is this? It's like the Vegas sphere, but all stripped out. Oh my God. The space here in this level is really big, so when it looks like I'm about to fly through a hole, it takes me forever to get over to it. The openings are gigantic. Oh, whoop. Crashed. That's the place. I'm mostly in our stage in Glendale, though. Oh, yeah, that's right. I didn't know how close that was, because we're, I guess, like in the edge of Burbank there, over by the Whole Foods and stuff. So that I didn't realize the stage was at a different place. I did a fitting today, not for film stuff. I'm just modeling for something in a couple weeks, and they will make sure all the prosthetics. It's got some horns and some whatnot, and make sure that they all fit me correctly. And I'm curious to see what the other teeth are gonna make. I hope I get to keep them. I don't know, because Richard Redlifson, who's doing the makeup, likes to make busts of the makeup when they're done, which means he's probably going to want to keep the teeth to use for his bust, which is kind of a bummer, because I like getting teeth. And one of my favorite sets of teeth, I broke it the other day when I was doing filming with Corridor Crew. I brought my makeup kit, and I have all my teeth in there, and I put these teeth in, and when I went to take them out, I like slipped, and I freaking snapped them. I was so bummed. I could probably fix them, but the shop that I might work at, the guy that made those teeth works at that shop, so maybe he can repair them. And maybe he can even make another pair. I don't know. But they're probably my best fitting teeth. My friend Dan Crowley makes fantastic teeth as well, but Aaron Globerman's are just they're just very, very perfect. And the guy who's making my teeth, his name is, for this thing's called Gary Archer, and I went to get my teeth cast with him a couple weeks ago, and he has cast like every freaking huge celebrity's teeth, like tons. He just boxes and boxes and boxes, like every famous person you can think of, he's cast their teeth. It's crazy. We used to have a stage in Burbank Studios right across the street. We moved last year. What's next for Patreon files? So really soon, like maybe tonight, I might put up the 2-piece shorts, just in case anybody wants them. So they're like going to work like the vacuform ones. It's going to be pretty easy to set those up. It's going to be the same files. I'm just going to cut them and tab them so that they fit together, and I'll probably just put those up there tonight or tomorrow. I am on a shoot tomorrow, but I don't have to go in until 11, so I might be able to stay up late. And then I want to get the foam files I'm going to be working on at the same time. I really want to just make a set as I go to make sure that they go together right, so that I can put notes on them and stuff. I'll just post the beta version of the files of the foam ones as I go, in case someone just wants to experiment with me, but there won't be the finals. But I might go ahead and post them as soon as I get them to a point where they're sort of usable. But they'll really require some instructions. And then I'm working on a couple of the random things that I'm just trying to get started that I think will be cool. A couple non-Star Wars related things, but I think they're going to be neat. I think I already told everybody here already, so it's not like a spoiler, but I will be doing a RoboCop costume. And I got Dave Moog's 8D8, and it's very good, but the way some of the stuff is constructed, it can't really be posed a lot and all this stuff, and I might do my own version of 8D8. I'm kind of on the fence about it, because Dave Moog is awesome, and he did a really good job, and I'm just like, do I tell Dave Moog to do all these crazy changes that I want to do? I might even like change some stuff. I went and looked at some reference photos, and I found a few things that I could fix. So I'm just like, okay, if I fix that, then I'm essentially going to be remodeling this part. And if I fix that, I'm remodeling this part. And if I change this, then I'm remodeling this part. So by the time I'm like done, I'll be easily 70 or 80% remodeled the whole thing. So at this point, is it mine still? I don't know. Do I like, hey, here's parts for Dave Moogs, like go buy Dave Moogs and then put my pieces on it? I don't know. I don't know how to do that yet. Or do I just remodel the whole thing? I feel like this is Dave Moog's head here that I've got. It's good, but I feel like it's a hair narrow, just a little tiny bit. And I think it's one of these things where it was modeled from some picture where the camera lens was a little bit too wide and too close, and it causes it to be slightly elongated. So when I look at it, it feels like a little too long. So I might make another head where it plugs into the neck, the little opening looks at a glance just a little bit too big. But it's very, very good. Very, 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 very good model. It's kind of like me critiquing Jesse M's 3PO files, where he did just a beautiful job on those files, but because I'm super niddly, I find all these little things. So I'm like, okay, do I fix Dave's files, or do I just start over and do my own? I don't know. But I'll put it on my Patreon. I'll probably just do it for me. But I'm gonna finish building out Dave's prints, and I'll share some photos of that. Then maybe I'll sell that or something. I don't know yet. And then do my own and use his as kind of like my inspiration. It's almost like it's easy to see what I would want to fix when I have one in front of me. That's kind of how it was with 3PO too. Like when I bought my first 3PO parts, I didn't realize that there was so much wrong with them until I got them there and I was looking at them like, yeah, something's not right. And then just spiraled into the decade-long nightmare of me looking at 3PO stuff forever. It's great. Let me see, did I miss something? So anyway, that's going to be maybe tonight. 3PO shorts, 2-piece, and then I would like to do the legs next. That's the one I want to post next. But like I said, I might try to get them scanned again, because the amount of time I got to put into them cleaning them up, waiting a day and then scanning them might actually make my life easier. So we'll see. And I'm scanning off of a first generation copy of the real deal Empire Strikes Back legs. So it's got as accurate as you can be. And the castings have some little like imperfections that are on this casting, so I gotta fix those. So it's so fun. And then after legs, it'll be torso and shoulders. And then those shoulder rings, the rotating ones you'd asked about, I gotta look and see if I can find them. I gotta go through it. I started to dig through my computer before, and I've got like 10 C3PO folders with a bunch of random STLs, and I don't have like a thumbnail on them, so I can't tell which one's which. I gotta try to remember when I made them. I think I made them like late 2023. So I'll see, because again, I don't know if I actually still have the same geometry in Fusion 360. I think I just took what was there and changed it because I was just like, nah, I'll never use this again. But I cannot remember. All right, let's change boards. This board is awesome, but it's freaking huge. Do you think flexible filament and creature cast will play well together, or would the creature cast flake off? I don't know. I have creature cast here. I can try. I'm trying to think if I've used creature cast or anything on any filament prints. I kind of think it's gonna peel off. I think it might peel off, but there's a caveat here. Is that there's a caveat here, which is that let me think where did I start with this? I've done some things before. This thing right here, it's a good example. This crazy head is a 3D print, and it's coated with latex, really, really thin. So it's printed and then very, very thin layer of latex and then paint. And up here I like dabbed it to give it some texture and stuff. And when I first did it, the latex would not stick to the print. It looked like it would stick, but it peeled off. And once it started to peel, it just peeled off in big pieces. So what I did is I used 3M Super 77, I think, spray adhesive, and just sprayed the surface and put like a thin coat. It's not lumpy or anything, just a thin coat. And then when I brushed the latex on, it really bonded because that Super 77 really, really sticks well to the 3D print. But the latex also stuck really well to the Super 77, if that makes sense. I think, can't guarantee, but I think that Creature Cast would do the same thing. I think it would stick to Super 77, and Super 77 will stick to the 3D print. So, something to consider. And if you put on like a couple thick coats, it'll be plenty thick enough you won't see. I really think that would probably work. I should test that. You know what? I have Creature Cast, and I have a set of TP. No, I have a set. I have at least one TPU 3PO hand that kind of was the same thing where I just never smoothed it out, so it's just kind of kicking around downstairs. So maybe if I remember this week, I'll just test it. I'll try just do some Super 77 and then a little bit of Creature Cast just to see if it sticks like I think it will. I'm pretty sure it'll work. The Creature Cast is great. Again, will it stick? I don't know. Quads in space. It's 1 star. 1 star. This must be a terrible track. Roman freestyle. Ready? It's nuclear. We did the nuclear one just now. Let's go to this one. But yeah, Creature Cast is awesome, and that's what I would probably use if I did the foam shorts. I would probably use Creature Cast. I saw this one before. I've been to this board. I remember this one. But yeah, Creature Cast is great. I've used it on multiple occasions to coat foam, and I have is it in here? I've got 2 spray guns for work on the air compressor. One's called a critter gun, and then I got a generic, like a Amazon version that was like way cheaper, and it works just as good. 100% like same kind of quality. Oops, hit the water. And if you have a compressor, which I believe you do, I would try that because it's I'll pull it up. I might have the box in here. I did unboxings of these things, and I meant to compare them to show they work exactly the same, but one is like an 1/8 of the price. Like a critter, maybe like a 1/6 of the price. The critter spray guns are like $80, and it's just like a siphon feed. What's cool about it is that it basically it has a little tube that goes down into your paint. You can spray all kinds of like thick stuff. You can spray latex paint, latex rubber, Creature Cast, like all kinds of stuff. You could probably get what is it called, Flex Seal. You could put that in there if you could get the little pint of Flex Seal. It would probably spray that. But I think Creature Cast is less disgusting and like not gonna poison you, which is good. But the little siphon comes up, and then the air feed comes out right over the siphon, so there's nothing to really clog. There's like one tip on there that's really, really easy to clean. That's great. These things are freaking awesome. And so for stuff like Creature Cast, it's very, very good. I just need a way to smooth out the flex filament and get a layer of something that can be sanded and be flexible. Yeah, I think Creature Cast is a really good option for that. You can sand Creature Cast a little bit. It's like you got to sand it kind of gentle, and it's a little before it's painted. Like if you're just using Creature Cast, it like reacts with water in a strange way. Like it won't peel or anything, but it gets like more flexible. But as soon as you get it sanded and then painted, it should seal all that in. It should be good. If you like TC90 on top of it, I think you'll be good. Oh my gosh, look at me just falling. Oops, I just crashed. All right, let's get out of this level. This level sucks. I mean, all these names, there's just all these new ones in here. Oh, here's another one. What's going on? There we go. What is this? Oh, there's like an old abandoned airplane. That's cool. Did I go to this one? I don't think so. Yeah, I really like Creature Cast a lot. I tried to do some experiments just running it in a mold as is, and it almost works. Like I was like, when I was doing the flexible shorts, I was like, maybe I could run the flexible shorts in Creature Cast, but when I was trying to brush it into the silicone mold, it just wanted to fight and like kind of like bead up on the silicone in a way where it wasn't spreading like I would want it to. And then I was like, well, maybe I make a plaster mold and then like do like you do with a latex mask, where you do a dwell casting where you just fill the thing up. I could even do them latex or whatever. You just fill it up and then let it sit for a few hours, and whatever's touching against the plaster will... Everything's out of bounds. This is stupid. Whatever's touching the plaster starts to dry, and then you pour out the excess and you peel it out, just like a Halloween mask. And it's pretty awesome. I'm planning to do the biceps, thighs, and shorts in a flexible filament for comfort. I think that's a really good idea. Kind of what I want to do with mine is how the PETG worked with the shorts. I think it'd be really good on the legs, because it just has it's not so flexible like TPU, but it has like enough bend to it that it's pretty forgiving. I kind of like that. I just flew out of bounds. Change track again. Let's see. Look at all these things. We bleed. Dynamic pubs. I'm just doing these at random. I have no idea what's coming up next. Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. Where am I? What the heck? I don't even know. I literally don't know what's going on here. Alright, I guess forget it. Change track. Let's try that again. Is it going to work? Oh my god. Where's it starting me? Oh, I guess I'm over here. Jeez, dude, do I have to like crash out to get out of this? I feel like I'm stuck in the underground here. I'm gonna head toward that stuff. Where did I go? Oh, there we go. All right. Now I'm back in here. I feel like I saw this one too. Oh. Oh yeah, this one is really cool. Up. Oh my god, I didn't crash. I'm still not crashed. How was that? Now that's crazy. What else? I feel like something else was going on. I went to Griffith Park and I ran today. And if you guys don't know, I have plantar fasciitis in my left foot. And I've barely been running this year. I say barely been running, even though I did last year. Since my plantar fasciitis started, I did a 100-mile ultramarathon, a 50-mile ultramarathon, 2 marathons, and a bunch of different training stuff after my plantar fasciitis. But I wasn't training all the time, because typically I go running like 3 or 4 times a week, and I have barely done that. So I went for a run today, and it felt great. But now my foot hurts. Didn't hurt at all during the run, but it's a little bit sore now. I'm hoping by tomorrow it like kicks out. Last couple times it's been sort of the same thing where I go run, my foot gets sore, but then the next day it's okay again. Whereas when the plantar fasciitis was fresh, it would just be sore for days. And not very fun. Yeah, my partner caught the filmmaking bug, and now we just want to tour around cons and do 3PO appearances. You absolutely should. It's super fun. It's super duper fun. And if you got the funds to go do it, I recommend it. And you can make fun. You can make friends with all like the local area R2 builders, because I think that if you have an R2 there, it's just cooler. Like the production value seems cooler. Did you guys have an R2 on this shoot this time? I'd asked about that. That was another thing they're really vague about. I was like, "You're getting an R2," and they were just like, didn't answer me. And I was like, guys, please. Let me know. I can find someone to bring one out. And I have a friend in Vegas that has an R2. And he knows a couple people have R2s. So I could make it happen. And they're like, blah, blah, blah. Don't tell Gordon any information. Bah. Oh, my God. All right, this level is really cool. But I'm going to go to a different one so I can explore more of these. Change track. All right. 90-cent snowblower. Let's check it out. Whoop. Yeah, and then find out too, you know, as far as doing the 3PO stuff, if they have like any kind of rule. I still gotta send you Alex's info. Wow, I cannot believe I just made it through all that stuff. Sorry I spaced out there. I'm just like, am I actually making it through all these things? This is crazy. But yeah, check it out and see. I don't know what the deal is, but if they'll fly you out, it's super cool. Now, only thing I would say is that be careful what you do if you want to do stuff with Lucasfilm, because I did a thing a few years ago, and Lucasfilm was cool. They talked to me. They've hired me for many things since then, but for about 2 years afterwards, they were very standoffish about using me for stuff. So it caused a little drama. We did have an R2, 2 of them actually. Mine is almost done too. Oh, that's awesome. So that's I don't know if you can see it back here, but I got my RX droid back here. And I always want to build an R2, but I think I've got too many stupid things to build first. And if I get this job at this studio, I think they'll definitely 100% want to use me for doing like scan cleanup and breaking things up and making 3D molds and stuff. But I have some experience doing animatronic stuff as well, and I'm hoping that I get to do some of this at this place. I'm going to try to pitch that. But I think what I need to do is make a couple animatronic like puppet heads of my own creation, just so I have them kind of my like portfolio, because a lot of places that would hire me don't realize I can do some of that stuff. I was telling my wife today, I used to put a lot of videos up on my Instagram of me making things. Like I would put up whatever I was working on, and now it's I haven't done it in a long time, so people don't even realize I make stuff. They just think I do creature work, which is cool, but I also make stuff. And then speaking of like the crossover, I was thinking on Patreon I might put up the files for my 83 droid that I did for Jedi Temple Challenge. I don't know if anybody would want it, but I feel like there's enough people that would be interested that it might be a thing. I don't want to just post it on like Thingiverse or something, but that whole droid is pretty neat, and I feel like if I put it out there, somebody would do a version. I'd be pretty stoked to see that kicking around at a convention. Standoffish how? So back in 2015, I did a photo shoot, which is kind of the reason that a little bit much, but I did a photo shoot, which I was told was Lucasfilm approved. Apparently it was not. And when I did it, Lucasfilm and Disney got a little PO'd, understandably. Like if they didn't approve it, and I did it, I get it. But at the time, it was this guy Esty worked at Lucasfilm. He's a very nice guy. And when I found out that I had not broken rules, I guess kind of, but I didn't do it on purpose. I basically called Lucasfilm. I emailed them first, and I ended up calling and having like a long talk with them. It was crazy, but everything was good. We talked, and he's like, "Okay, you're good." You're like, "Don't worry, blacklisted or anything. Just keep us in the loop." And the thing is, I would definitely contact Alex. Alex is great. Alex is a freaking cool guy. But I would not avoid Alex in that way. If you want to end up in official stuff, I would definitely be in touch with Alex. But if you do the wrong unofficial things, it could be frowned upon. Doesn't necessarily mean you won't get anything, but you just got to be careful. Like, don't want to put 3PO in too many weird predicaments, because they will not be happy, and they might treat you as such. That's all I can say. And for my situation, I mean, clearly, like I said, I've worked with them. They hired me to do 83. Lucasfilm hired me directly to do 83 for Jedi Temple Challenge. They've hired me to make a ton of stuff for the Star Wars show. They've had film crews at my house to film me making stuff. I did a Marky and Row helmet for the High Republic show on Star Wars, like on the Star Wars YouTube channel. They had a High Republic show where they talk about the books and stuff. And I made a bunch of props for the background. I did all these lightsabers and helmets, and I was hired directly by Lucasfilm to do those. I chromed a bunch of trophies for them at one point. I've done like a lot of things. But for a little while, it seemed sketchy. And then some freaking dirtbag did use that against me to a bunch of people who didn't know better, and cost me a lot of work, which is great. I think I told you about that. But anyway, yeah, so that was basically that. So anyway, just be thoughtful. Like, if you're going to do something and it seems like maybe somebody would be against this, check and see. Like, if local car dealerships calling you, like they want to do a commercial or something, I would be like, maybe I should check. Or you could just do it, but maybe not ever get to work on anything official, if that makes sense. They hold it over your head. Let me see. So once you go pro, you can't go back, basically. I mean, you could. There's nothing really stopping you, but the thing is, if you do too many, you could even, I'll go do stuff. I'll go do, I did my friend's wedding a few weeks ago, and I'll do, the Saturn Awards or something is typically okay. One year they didn't want us to do the Saturn Awards, and we'd asked permission, and they said no, so I didn't do them. But if it's a little bit of a high-profile event, sometimes they have stipulations on where they want you to be. You can do this thing, you can do photo ops, but you cannot go on stage in, do like like if you're going to present an award, like you can't do that unless you get like specific instructions that it's okay from Lucasfilm. They got to tell you the details and so forth of like what you can say and what you can't say. But like doing like photo ops is typically fine. Sometimes where you stand for the photo ops matters to them. They'll kind of give you some instructions, but every once in a while they'll just be like, we don't want you at that event. So it's always good to ask first. But you don't want to be annoying either. Like if you're just going to go to a convention, that's probably fine. Conventions are okay. You're just walking around doing whatever, totally fine. But yeah, it just depends. Just depends. And Alex is pretty cool. And now there's enough 3POs where there's plausible deniability. Like when I did it, there was like 3 of us that were doing anything, so it's very easy to spot me. It does sound like Rebel Legion rules. It's really similar because I think with Rebel Legion, basically, they get permission. They're supposed to get permission from Lucasfilm, and Lucasfilm, sends it down, and then Rebel Legion relays what they want you to do or not do. It's kind of similar in that way, except, like when they did the Big Apple commercial here with all the Mandalorians, like that Apple, like Find My Friend commercial. Those kind of things are official, so you'll get invited out by Lucasfilm, like, hey, can you do this? And I feel like just because of that, it's good to just not burn any bridges or piss anybody off. I mean, technically do whatever, but, if you're in good standing, they're more likely to use you. That's all. It's part of the reason when that video came up, I just really wanted to know like what we're gonna shoot. Like I don't mind doing it, but I also don't want to I don't know the extent of what they're gonna do. Let's see here. Change track. Let's check out another one. Adam's Family, Polyworld. This is gonna be cool. Yeah, like Rebel Legion, 501st. Got a lot of friends in those groups, and I like all of my friends in those groups. But some of the stuff the groups, the way they act is just a little ridiculous for me. They take it too. I don't know how to say it because I think there's a level of seriousness you need when you're doing an event. You want the characters to feel like the characters from the films. I feel like that's important. But also in the forums, I don't want everybody talking to me like they're lawyers, or like military lingo or something stupid. I'm like, come on. All said and done, it's the costume club, and you'll make exceptions for all kinds of stuff here and there, but you won't make exceptions for this, but you'll make exceptions for this other thing. And it just doesn't make a lot of sense in some ways. However, again, I do like all the people. Got tons of friends in those groups. I just think the politics of them get a little out of control when you think about what it actually is and what's at stake. The costume world is at stake. This board, I feel like I'm just stuck underground. I don't like it. Oh wait, look at that. Now I'm outside. How did I do that? I went down a mine shaft or something? I guess. Yeah, I'm getting out of here. This is stupid. Well, I very much appreciate. Yeah, I'll try to remember to send it to you. Have used 3D pins. I follow someone on Insta who recently made penguin wallet. Oh yeah. Those things are freaking cool. I haven't used them personally, but I actually wanted to buy one. They've had them for years. They're really good for welding prints together. So if you have 2 pieces, you can just use it as like a 3D print welder. But I've seen people make like crazy full things where they'll draw like a profile and pop it up. They'll draw the other profile and kind of hook them together and just start looping around like a basket until they make a shape. And these really, really cool items, and like smooth them down with like a hot iron. It's pretty neat. Said the LFL is shutting down the Outer Rim directory. It was like a casting portal. Yeah, it was, and I don't know if what the deal is with that, if they're gonna tap into it some other time, or they're basically gonna go off of like suggestions from the prop masters on the shows, because I don't know what the deal was. I wonder if it's one of the things where, you know, Atlanta Wildwood Freestyle. Let's go this one. I don't know if it's a thing. I have literally no idea why they would want to shut it down. But look at this insanity. But I wonder if it has to do with, again, like people getting on the things and then selling their screen used droids after the fact. And I don't think they're real fond of people doing that, like going to prop store or auctioning them or selling them to collectors. It's oh my god, this level is crazy. Yeah, it's I don't know exactly why they would do that. I mean, it seems very useful just to have all those people in your pocket, so when something comes up, you know, worst case scenario, they can look in there and like, who's got what droid. And I had submitted stuff to it because, like, you know, it's like mostly astromechs and whatnot, but it's mostly astromechs. But I had a bunch of my protocol droids up on there. I wonder if I still have they had the little app, and I don't know what the deal is. If they're like, why they're not. I feel like it should just live there, and then if, you know, if people want to access it, they can. But I know they went through the build groups and they said, okay, people, if you got like your droids, upload them and they can go through and look. And I know that they've hired fan built stuff before, but I don't know if they actually did it through that page like that. Just be able to, like, I think it's nice to be able to open it and show it, but typically it's like the person doing the props for the shows will connect them with the people on the outside. I don't know if they're looking at the app to actually find the people or if it's like word of mouth. Bando Mall. Did I do Bando Mall? I don't know what this check mark is. Let's do Bando Mall, see what happens. Oh wow, look at this. Oh my god. Some of them have these check marks by them. I don't know what that's for. Is it because it's somebody's in there? This one's really cool. Wow, I would shop at this mall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 stories high. It's like they just give it a name. This is a mall. Check it out. Let's go down to Wet Steel down here, and then we'll go to the shoe store. Oh my god, I just crashed. Good job. And it just starts me right outside the map. It just started me outside the map. Cool. Oh, it's on the top of the building. I see. Wow. Oh my god. This place is giant. Let's see. I want to go out and do this. Looks like a lobby out here. Look at this. Dang. Like, this kind of space is good for practicing, like flying around for like architecture views. Look at that. Pretty neat. Is there smoke in the middle? Can I go through there? Oh my god. Crashed. Yay. With large language models, don't think we'll have a personal droid soon. Probably. I mean, I saw a guy that was built like he built TARS from Interstellar, and it's small, and I don't know. I think it's hooked up to an AI like voice generator, and it was really cool. But I'm like, I mean, it's at the cusp, and I sometimes don't know, looking at things now, whether they're AI or if it's like someone with a microphone faking it. But it sounded right, and it had that like just enough delay where it's like, okay, it sounds like when you talk to a large language model and it kind of thinks for just a second before it responds. It kind of seemed like that. But I think that's going to happen real soon, like really, really soon. The fact that you can use LLMs for doing programming already makes me feel like it's going to be no time before you can be like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I need this, this, and this, and I would like to have an AI, basically an AI brain inside this thing that can go do my chores and stuff. And here's its physical body, and go for it. And then there's all these robot training simulators now where you basically can put in the layout of the robot. It'll sense where everything is on its own if you set it up right, and then it can train virtually so that you don't crash it out and do all kinds of stuff and break it. Train it till it's figured a lot of stuff out, and then it can just go walk around. It's pretty nuts. That map looks like the racing drone place. That's what it feels like too. Let's get out of here. This one's too crazy. Change track. Where my time is it? Oh my god, I might actually about time to get off here because I've been on for an hour and I got to do some Patreon stuff. I might pop back on for Patreon, but I did get my reference. I had to dig around. There's not like a hard drive, but I have all my reference from the Lucasfilm archives because I'm doing my EV99. It's going to be one of the ones I post. And I had to adjust the scale a little bit since I did the ones for Disney, but I scaled it down just a tad, and I have all the measurements off of one of the real droids that are my reference. And I could not find them a few weeks ago when I was working on it, and I found them. I have all those things now. And if you weren't here before, I have all my Forlom references, so Forlom head, torso, tons and tons of reference photos. So I'm going to try to get that one going too. And I have measurements of all the details on the face, the whole thing. So it should be pretty good once it's done. Should at least be accurate to scale. It seems like there's a couple nice sculptures out that are just too big. And whenever I see them, I'm like, it's like the shape is almost right, but it's just so big. It doesn't look right to me. But love to see a live stream of you sculpting with clay. You did one years ago, but the sound was bad. Oh yeah, sounded like someone trapped in a Snickers wrapper. Oh my god. I wonder what. I think I know which one you're talking about. I will. I could do another one. I want to make some more latex masks, like these ones. I have a couple up here. And I would do that. Sculpting clay. And the thing is too, for just doing latex masks, doing the clay sculpts is really fun. But if I was doing something more involved, sculpting in clay, and then I would just scan it, bring it over digitally. But I'll do that. I was thinking today, my shop space downstairs is kind of like starting to have. It's been kind of crazy since I've been in this house for like 2.5 years, and my shop space is not fully set up. I can work in there, but it's like insanity. So I've got 4 or 5 benches down there now, and space for another one. A bunch of tools like spread around, but I have to finish a mold for somebody, and then once that's done, I'll basically have one of my big benches will be clear. So if I want to sculpt down there, I can sculpt down there. And I also have one of my cars in the garage, and I need to do a bunch of work on it, so I might be videotaping that. Not that it probably matters to anybody here, but I'm going to be changing the clutch and doing all this stuff. So I got to take clutch, flywheel. I got racing seats for it. I got braided brake lines, new rotors and calipers, so I can kind of like upgrade the brakes a little bit. Or no, I didn't get calipers. I got new brake pads and rotors. Braided brake lines. I got a new clutch, new flywheel. What else did I get? The racing seats, something else. I got better the lights in my my instrument cluster. A couple of them gone out, so I got LEDs to swap for that. So I'll be filming all that, but my car's been sitting in my garage for like 3 months now. I haven't touched it because I've been busy. And yeah, next month is kind of crazy. Let's see. Is there any symbol of proximity? Let's try this. And then after this one, is it outside a map? What is happening here? Oh, look, there we go. After I fly around this for a moment, then I'm gonna have to call him. But I'm having kind of fun, and I'm inside the sphere. I gotta look and see how to build these maps, because I feel like there's a lot of stuff cross-pollinating these maps. Like some of these shapes I've seen in various stages, but then some of them have like totally fresh new geometry, and I'm like, is there some kind of pack that you can go and add these items and scale them up and place them wherever you want? I just don't get it. I don't understand. Oh my god. Like this sphere was in another one, and those, holy jeez. I feel like I'm just crashing out. I hope busy means lots of work. It means a lot of random stuff here. Like I've been doing, this house has a ton of stuff to do. I've been trying to get my Patreon going. Been doing my, I'm trying to do my Part 107 license, which I wanted to do last month. But then I got kind of distracted, and I didn't feel like I had studied enough to like pull it off. So I need to go back and like make some flashcards or something. And geez, this level feels like one of those ones where it feels like I'm flying too fast. I just need to get studied up so I can go take the test and be like done with it, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. But it'd be good to get my license, and then yes, that's it. Just working on crazy stuff. I'm always kind of busy doing stuff. Like another thing I got to do tonight is install a dishwasher, and I basically have to wire it up. It's one of those kind where it doesn't have, the electric wire is not on there, so you have to like take the front panels off and then hook up the electricity to it, get that all plugged in, hook up the water supplies, hook up the drain, all the stuff. It's not technically complicated, but it's just stuff to do. Yay. Big fan, man. Big fan. Dan, thank you very much. Eye catching shots. That's freaking cool. Thanks for stopping in. You caught me right at the end. I'm just about to log off, but I'll be back. I've been doing these drone things every 2 days, and I'm trying to come on when I do ZBrush as well, because I'm working on stuff for my Patreon page, and anything I can show while I'm doing it, I will show. Or if things come along, like I've got another project for Patreon that's after I get some of this 3PO parts done, I've got a couple other things that I'll work on and off to post up there eventually, hopefully. And then I'll be ZBrushing those things as well. Let me get out of this simulator here. Where's OBS Studio? All right, just like that. Okay, we're back. And that's it for now. I'm gonna go. I gotta also put some more pieces of 8D8 on the printer. Again, it looks a little bit, I think he's just a little too narrow. I might have to I think I'm gonna remodel him. I think I'm gonna do my own 8D8. Won't be soon, but it's on the list. Put it on the list. So anyway, guys, stop by. I'll be back in 2 days for this, and then hopefully tomorrow after I get home from my shoot, I will pop on here and do ZBrush for a little while. Should be good. Should be good. Thanks again for stopping by, and I'll see you kids soon.